Doing well. How about yourself, Professor?
Fine, thank you. So, I think next week is spring break, I believe, right?
Yes.
That's correct.
Okay. So I know you guys are excited.
I'm ecstatic.
I don't blame you at all. I like it too. So I can have more time, you know how it is. Tonight we'll be focusing on location, locating facilities. So let me open the classroom so you can see the section that I'm referring to. I think this is the classroom right here. I'm going to share this with you. Okay. So you can see from my announcement, um, announcement will have what is this tonight and this week. Reading material is chapter 8. If you don't have access to it, I have the presentation for you, which is almost like a test chapter in summary form. So you can read it and you can it will be when you finish it, it will be as if you cover the chapter for the semester. I will show you where it is located. Now for the assignment, you are going to be classwork 6 and test 1. Test 1 is due on March 15th. That is on Sunday. Now I will show you where you can find it. Small to see more. Okay. You go to the models. You click on the models on the left navigation menu. And then you scroll down. You see where you have test 1. You download it. Let me open it so you can see the instructions. So you download it. It's a Word document. But then your answers, you do your work using Excel, and then upload it when you finish.
I have a question, Professor.
Yes, ma'am. So yes, sir.
Is the test like for the whole group or is individual?
Yeah, the test will be individual. That's the assignment you test and the final exam are the only assignment you do individually.
Okay.
Submit your own copy.
Okay. And when is it due?
15th, which is on Sunday.
Okay.
When you finish, you just upload it. Uploading.
Okay.
Um, so you upload it Word document and upload the Excel where we basically is you do all the work in Excel as the requirement. So and then the classwork 6. I'm gonna put the work here. Yeah, after the class is over, just give me an 1 hour. I'll put the work question there for you. So you can submit that one tomorrow. You and your group can submit your own tomorrow. And that's it. Okay?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that, please?
Yes, the classwork I'll put it after the class is over. Just give me 30 minutes to an hour. I'll put the classwork question here, classwork 6. So you and group can start working on it. Even though it's due today, you can submit it tomorrow.
Okay.
At 11 p.m. Okay? And so we can start now. Now, before we start again, I forgot to show you something. What we are covering tonight, you will also see the PowerPoint right here in the module and the spreadsheet here as well. This is the PowerPoint, this is the spreadsheet. So you have both of them for you there. So we can start now. Like I said, we're focusing on facility locations. I mean, it's true that we are now in the in the internet era, where a business can be located even online. But that doesn't mean that the location is no longer important. There are some businesses that you cannot locate online. For example, a construction, sorry, a mining company cannot locate it. It cannot say that it is located online, or a manufacturing company cannot say that the business is located online. I mean, they can still have their website, but there's gonna be a physical facility. Even on some universities that are 100% online, they still have some physical office. So when it comes to manufacturing, and even to some extent, services like the one that provided by doctors, lawyers, and so on, and financial analysts, location is important. Then manufacturing companies or business, the kind of business that produce something that we need, like the bakery, paint, even restaurants, location is very important. So sometimes a business, you might have a business located in one place, and after some years, they might discover that there's another place with opportunities. They might want to expand to that new place. But there are going to be some factors that you have to consider. So plant expansion and new facility construction are among the most far-reaching decisions that organization can make. And to a large extent, if I'll use Amazon as an example. I remember in 2018, sorry, about 2015 or 2007, either 15 or 17, when Amazon was trying to open up a new headquarters at their headquarter number 2. I saw many cities were, trying to basically trying to attract Amazon. And even Baltimore City was trying to do the same thing too. They were showing them what they can offer, like low tax, low cost of operation, and then workforce they have. Eventually, Amazon settled with Arlington, Virginia. And of course, you know why those cities we are trying to attract Amazon, because that new location brought in like 25,000 jobs and so many other things that comes with it. But I believe that Amazon made that decision based on what they need, probably because maybe they have cheap land. Then they have maybe this some kind of market survey to figure out if they can also have access to cheap labor and so on and so forth. Location is still very important when it comes to starting a business or expanding a business, in as much as we have the internet. So a natural question to ask at this point is, how does an organization go about selecting an optimal facility location? The important thing to realize is that no location decision process can ensure that an optimal location is chosen. So, and also that when it comes to location, it is more important to avoid a troublesome or disastrous location. For example, many companies that are open in branches, even the US companies, some of them are oil companies in Venezuela. Some years, then the regime that came in of Maduro nationalized many US companies. When I say nationalized, they took over the company by force, nationalized them, and then with the compensation they gave is not even large enough to when viewed in the light of how much those US oil companies have invested in Venezuela. Of course, we know what happened recently. That president was eventually captured. But in any case, it was actually almost like a big loss for those companies. How about in the Middle East? So in that case, it's also there's a lot of risk involved. There are some countries that are very have an environment that are very conducive for business. There are also some countries or even locations that have business or environment that are anti-business. So you have to look into that as well. So then there is also the education decision that involves so many factors that require a systematic approach to deciding where to allocate the business. Yeah. So now there are major factors. I've already given you a hint on that. The major factors that influence location includes the incoming raw materials, human resources available, capital, market, and environment. Incoming, let's take a look
Oh,
at.
wait, can you go back, please, to the
Go back.
last slide? Mm-hmm.
What
Thank
happened?
you.
You have this on the models already anyway. Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I just
Yeah.
wanted to look at it a little longer, but thank you.
You're welcome. You have it. It's on the model, so you can download it on the model as well. So let's look at the incoming raw materials as a factor when it comes to location. Yeah, look, I'll give an example with a steel manufacturing plant that is located near coal mines in Pennsylvania. Yeah, I know that this is an age of green revolution where coal is no longer as important as it used to be. But that does not, it is still a fact that coal is heavy and expensive to move. I mean, company that makes steel factories need a lot of coal to make steel. And if the factory is located in an area that is far from where they can have access to enough coal, it will be very expensive to move to the place, to the factory. So when factory is built near a coal mine in Pennsylvania, for example, trucks or train travel shorter distances to the coal mine. So, and this lowers transportation costs and as well as save money. Not only that, it make it easier for the factory to get coal quickly and keep production going. Now about coffee roaster that we set up in a place like Colombia. You know that Colombia grows a lot of coffee. They have a lot of coffee plantation. So if you locate a coffee roaster there, you have access to the coffee beans, raw coffee beans, as much as you want. How about, let's say it's human resources. Yes, that's one of the reasons why some companies move production to places like China, Cambodia, Bangladesh, and so on. The cost of labor in America is very high. The same job that you pay somebody $20 an hour to do it, at Bangladesh, it might only cost you $1 an hour, or even less. So companies like Microsoft, Apple, or those who are in the clothing textile section move jobs to either to Bangladesh or China, and so on, so where they can make it very cheap. Maybe when they're bringing it in, they might pay a $2 tariff. So cost of manufacturing is $1, then tariff of $2, for example. You can still make the money here. Much more if they move it. In fact, many things we use in the US, especially gadgets. Lots of them are assembled in different countries and bring them in here. So next is capital. Capital is very important. Now, I don't know how many of you watch Shark Tank. We have some investors, some of them are billionaires. You come and present your business proposal. If they feel that it will make the money, they give you the money you need for a little equity or ownership on your firm. So a fintech startup that located in New York City to access venture capital funding Yes. Because New York is the home of a vibrant venture capital firms. So what are venture capital firms? Well, simply put, a venture capital company is a private company that invests money and other resources into high growth potential companies like startups in exchange for equity. So you might say, okay, I'm going to give you, if you are looking for $200,000, so I'm going to give you $200,000. In return, I'll have 20% of your business, that kind of thing. So businesses that are located where we have that kind of venture capital can grow faster than those who are not who are located where it is difficult to find a venture capitalist. For example, a biotech company set up in Boston near the investors and financial institutions specializing in life sciences. That's a good example. You have a biotechnology company and you locate it near investors and financial institutions that specialize in life sciences. There are many of them. Then next one is market. So that is why you see many fast food chains in the city. But when you go to the county, it becomes difficult to see them. Yeah, because market is we have more market in the city than in the county. So and so on and so forth. Next is the environment. For example, a wind farm established in Texas due to favorable wind conditions and renewable energy incentives. So how do we we know all these things. How do we narrow it down so that we can pick a good location for our business? There are many ways you can do it. Some analysts recommend quantitative analysis first, and is get the numbers, vital statistics about the new place. Then follow it up with a qualitative review. That's whereby this one doesn't involve numbers. We involve what you see happening there. So there are other factors, things like labor market. Okay, labor market, for example, labor market can be an important factor. For example, I think I gave one something similar to this player. What I said in the previous slide. Other labor market where there is cheap labor or available cheap labor is a very, very important factor when we're trying to narrowing facility location alternatives. So you can decide to locate a facility where there are more labor, especially if that facility can be easily moved if it is mobile. Then another way you can use quantitative method like the cost volume analysis and factor rating system to use to make comparative analysis. And that is the area we'll be focusing on. Another one, if you don't have money to do all this, there is one that we call Dawn's Review that publishes business sites, construction plan. So Dawn's Review actually is a business report that provide information about companies, industries, and economic conditions. So if you can buy a copy or subscribe to a copy. And then in any place you want to start a business, put the place name or number there. It will give you all the information that you should have as a subscriber to that. Okay. So at this point, do you have any question before I continue? Okay, no question. So let's start. Let's take a quick look at the steps in a facility location decision. First thing you do is to define the objective, decision criteria, and then basic requirement. Okay. Now, secondly, use political, social, and economic market data to narrow the potential location to small alternatives. Okay, that satisfy the objective. Then, third is to evaluate alternatives against basic or dominant requirements and eliminate any unacceptable locations. Next is to compare the alternatives on quantitative basis using cost volume analysis, linear programming, center of graph, and so on. Okay. Number 5, compare the alternatives on a qualitative basis using factor rating or other subjective means to take less tangible work. Okay. Now, when you do these two things, you can then select the location that best satisfy the qualitative and qualitative criteria that you used by using a weighted score of a group decision process. Okay. Now, we can now classify what we have into goods and services. So, and how the allocation is reversed. Sorry, I put it this way. Goods and services have required different process or things when it comes to the allocation of the allocations or the location of the factory or business that provide them. So in this case, the key determinants include the availability of inputs. I've already mentioned something like that when I said, look at here we have materials, market for outputs, and then types of processing. Okay. Now let's look at this. For goods and services, we take a look at the availability of inputs like raw materials, market for outputs. Yes, we have inputs, we have raw materials here. How about the market? Then the type of processing. So normally, I would say the location requirement associated with processing of goods are often quite different from those of services. Yes, because there are two different things. Goods are tangible, services are intangible. So the locational requirement might be different. So we'll look at for goods, which can be produced at locations away from the market. Have key points. Okay. Some goods production facilities like mineral and forest products are strongly dictated by resource availability. Okay. Now, other ones that goods are more flexible, but in all cases, value is stored in the product. So if I buy this cell phone, this is where value is stored when it comes to goods, not services yet. Now, so because of that, value is stored in the product, which can be transported to customers for use at any time. Now, when it comes to services, which is intangible, it cannot be stored. So that many service facility locations like medical clinic, hair salon are directed by the location of, by the likely the location of the customers. So if you have a restaurant, having a restaurant, I will use Morgan State. I mean that I call it. I think they call it Hillen Road. Locating a restaurant there, because of the student population, and locating a restaurant in somewhere like Middle River here, where I live. You see that the one that is near to the student has more power in terms of sales, because the students live around there. But the ones over there behind where I live behind it, they might get a very few rights. So but the service, it is easy. There's one property that has to do with the ease and speed of electronic telecommunications and internet. So that it had brought some kind of even more flexibility to services and the location of the place where they can be received. Which also means that firms in one country But it helps firms in one country to when it comes to location, process work in another. So US credit card billing done in China. Well, I'm not sure they do it in China, but I know that many businesses have to outsource their part of their operation that involve things like payroll, overtime, and so on and so forth. So let's look at one method we can of deciding where to locate our business. The one we're going to look at is the cost volume analysis, which is breaking even analysis. So for this, I gave out I think we're gonna do an example, but let's see. Yeah. What we do on this cost volume analysis when it comes to location is to estimate the fixed and variable cost that is associated with each location. The fixed cost, the variable cost. Then, if possible, graph or compute for each of these location the total cost as a product of volume. Yeah. So if the revenue from one location is to another, if the cost is one location is higher but it has more revenue, you can consider that as location as a better position than some location where the cost is much higher than the revenue. In other words, if revenue varies from one location to another, then the comparison should be made for a represented total revenue minus total cost at each location. So we can now use that to compare. Okay, let's look at this question. Maybe this question, answering this question will make it more clear. Where's my that is here? Yep. It says potential location in Argentina, Brazil, and Chile has the cost structure shown in this table. I'm talking about this table here. You can see on the screen. Okay. You can see Argentina is fixed cost is $150,000. Variable cost is $75,000. Brazil fixed cost is $200,000 and variable is $50,000, and so on and so forth. It's a potential location in Argentina, Brazil, and China has the cost structure shown here. Okay, for a product that sells for $130. So find the most economical location for an expected volume of 6,000 units per year. They say, what is the expected profit if the site in A is used? Yeah, and then they say, for what output stream is each location best? So the first thing is to put this in Excel. I have it in Excel already. Okay, I have this right here. I'll show it. Okay. You can see the selling price is 130. The volume is 60. Okay. Question says, find the most economical location for an expected volume of 6,000 units per year. What is the expected location if the volume, what is the expected profit if the site selected in A is used? And then see for what output range is each location best. So you can start this by putting up our location here in Excel. Yeah. This. Okay, let's see location of this in Excel. Must I click something?
Prof, we can see your Excel screen.
Yeah, let me pull it again in 1 minute. You mean the PowerPoint, right?
No, the Excel.
Or Excel? Okay, I'm gonna put it right there now. Here, right here. You can see that that's this same table that we have in the presentation right here. This one here. I put it in Excel. see the selling price and the unit is 6,000. And I have some formulas that I have presented here I'm going to use. I wonder why it is so big. Okay, I'm going to bring it up. All right. Okay. Yeah, I think I know what I'm going to do now.
Professor, which Excel sheet is that one? Is that Lecture 5 spreadsheet?
Yeah, you mean where you can locate it, right?
Yeah.
It's on the model
Okay.
right here. You can see right here, model. You can see the Excel. This is the PowerPoint.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. So now the question that we're asking us is, it says, estimate the fixed and variable cost associated with each location, graph or compute for one or more potential sites, the total cost as a product of volume. Now, if the revenue varies from one location to another, then the comparison should be made for percentage revenue and social cost. But not like that, the location that have the lowest cost will be the one that will be chosen when you use the cost volume analysis method. So let us try this. It says potential location for Argentina in Argentina, Brazil, and Chile have the cost structure shown in this table. Table 1 for the product that's sold for $130. Find the most economical location for an expected volume of 6,000 units per year. B, what is the expected profit if the site is selected in A is used? Then C is what output range is each location best? For what output range is each location best? So now let's answer the first question, which is find the most economical location for the expected volume of 6,000 units. So to do that, we need to calculate our fixed cost or fixed we are given the fixed cost as a matter of fact. You can see it right here. This is the fixed cost. This is variable cost. Okay. So we need to get total cost for the 3 countries. We will get total cost. And this is the formula we will use. After that, we can compare the total cost for the 3 locations. So what is in this presentation here, I put in the spreadsheets. That's right here. So let's find the units, which is 600 units. Sorry, 6,000 units. So put them here. 6,000. Okay. Now with this, we can now calculate the total fixed cost. Look at the formula for total cost. I'm gonna move this a little bit up. Okay, I'll bring it down a little bit. Fixed cost plus variable cost times fixed cost plus variable cost times volume. That will give us the total revenue. So let's do it. Sorry. This is total cost with fixed cost times plus variable cost times volume. That will give us the total cost. But for revenue, will be that one is we're gonna calculate it from here. Get the total revenue. Total revenue is usually the total of all the sales that we made. So like price times the number of units that we sold for that location. That gives us total revenue. You can see from the screen right here. Price times number of units sold. So let's get the total cost first of all. And we have total costs of the formula is fixed cost plus variable cost times volume. So you have fixed cost equal fixed cost for Argentina is right here. Okay, plus variable cost, which is 75 times volume. Volume is 6,000 units. Close parenthesis, and then press the enter key. Then give us the total cost. I can, wait for the rest of them. So, if you remember, the question was about to choose the best location. But they want us to do that. That's why we're calculating this for each location. The one that have the lowest cost will be the best option. And you can see that Brazil, let me have this highlighted. Because that Brazil has the lowest cost. Because it's $500,000 dollars is cost. And I actually wrote it here in the presentation. You can see right here. This is for Argentina. This is for Brazil. And this is for Chile. I see that Brazil is chosen because it is the most economical location option. Economical location option because it has the lowest cost. Okay. So you can see it both in the spreadsheet and in the presentation, which is right here. Now, the second question they ask us is, what is the expected profit if the site selected in A is used? So you calculate, what you're going to do is you calculate the expected profit for 3 of them and choose one that give you more. But normally, we expect that Brazil will have the lowest profit because it has the lowest cost. So let us do the Brazil, calculate the total revenue here. Total revenue, as you can see, is price times number of units. Why are we calculating total revenue? Because we need it to get the profit. So total revenue equals price. The price is 130. Okay. 130. Okay, 130. Okay. Times number of units, which is 6,000. 6,000. And that goes for all of them. Okay? 6,000. So that is the you should go to the equation. You see that 6,000 is the output they wanted. If you look at the equation, it says find the most economical location for an expected volume of 6,000. Okay? So that was the location they gave. Okay? Now, with that, we can now find the profits. So profit per year becomes, as you can see from the screen, expected profit is total revenue minus total cost.
Professor, can you show how you got the equation for the total revenue again?
Yeah, sure. The equation is right here. You can see the formula right here.
Okay, I see it. Thank you.
Yeah. So what you're gonna do is just multiply it right here, 130 times the 6,000 units. Because the equation says 6,000 units. So the equation pegged it as 6,000 units. So now with that, we can now find the profit for a year. Profit will now be total revenue, which is this one here, and also total cost. Total cost right here. And if you do it for the 3 of them, you see that Brazil still give us the highest revenue because the cost is lower, it's the lowest for the three of them. So naturally, Brazil will be the best location for the business, since the total cost is lowest and total revenue is the highest. Then last but not the least, and the question is, the C part says, for what output range is the location the best? Is each location the best? What output range is each location the best? You can see, you can use the graph method to do that. They draw the graph, and then you can see this is what I have. But normally, we try to use a simple rule here. Simple rule, especially when you're using graph, is that if the company produces very few units, then choose location that has the lowest fixed cost. We look at our graph. Well, as a matter of fact, we can graph it from there in Excel. Let's see if I can graph it in Excel. Yep, I have it for every one of them. So let's see Brazil. Then I'm gonna use choose a unit from 1,000 units to 10,000 units. And for each unit, each country, I'm going to calculate the total cost, the fixed cost. Okay, I'm going to calculate the fixed cost, total annual cost for each country, and then I'm going to draw the graph. So if it's just like while I'm doing it, I'll have this on mind that if the company produces very few units, then choose the location that have the lowest fixed cost. But if they produce many units, it's better to choose one that have the lowest variable cost. Why? Because when you produce more, variable cost is extra cost for the additional output. So when you produce a lot, if the variable cost is going up, it will cost you more to produce large quantity. So in that case, you compare the variable cost for three locations. The one that have the lowest variable cost be the best one to choose. I mean, this is very important because you see people say that they have to make sales, millions of dollars worth of sales, and after the sales, they're making only, let's say they make $2 million worth of sales. After everything, removing the cost of doing business, like cost of advertising, cost, this cost, and they end up having a profit of only $200,000. And they are broke. You're asking the thing, what happening? Because you have to factor in the cost, especially the variable cost. Because if it changes so fast with the scale of production, it will eat all your profit. That's why I say that if the company produces very small units, you're looking at the fixed cost, lowest fixed cost. But as the unit produces increases, in that case you look at the variable cost, not more. So suppose we decide to draw the graph for this ourselves. I mean, we need to calculate the total annual cost for Argentina, starting from 1,000 units, which is the smallest, to 10,000 units, which is the highest. So we can now get the formula for that is total annual cost. Okay, total annual cost is total revenue. Total annual cost. That would be fixed cost plus the variable cost times volume. Okay, let's do that for Brazil. Because you have the fixed cost plus variable cost times revenue. So let me bring the formula down so we can be looking at it as we work on this. Okay, I'm gonna put it by the side. So total cost is fixed cost plus variable cost times revenue. Okay. Let's see. Fixed cost for Argentina is $150,000. Okay. Click on that. Plus, I can see variable cost is 75,000 times total cost. Sorry, mistake. Yeah, times volume, which is 6,000. So because you want to make these things to be static, you can put a dollar sign here to freeze the cell so that it will be easy for all the units produced. So you put a dollar sign here to freeze the cell. Do the same thing here for, because it says this is for maybe variable costs. Oh, I think I missed something. I think I missed something. Let me remove the formula here. Put it again. So you're gonna be fixed cost, which is this, plus variable cost, which is this one here, times number of units, which is this one here. Okay, close it. Now you can now freeze the cells. Okay, freeze the cells by putting dollar sign and all of them. Okay, so that it will be using the same. The only thing that change will be the units produced. Okay, that will give us, and then you can just drag it down to calculate the rest of them. Then Brazil, do the same thing for Brazil. Oh, I think okay. Let me not freeze it. Let me not freeze it. Because it should be changing for this. Okay, let me unfreeze it. Okay, fixed cost times number of units, fixed cost plus number of units, volume. Okay, let me see what I'm missing here. Okay, fixed cost, which is right here, times variable cost, which is 75. Okay, type of 75. Let me just type 75 times number of units, which is 1,000. Okay, so that's what I'm going to freeze. No, I don't need to freeze that one. What I need to freeze is the variable cost. Sorry, my mistake. I'm gonna freeze my variable cost times units. That's what I don't need to freeze this one. So I'm gonna freeze this one here. And freeze this, and then freeze this. That's what I'm going to do. And then I'm gonna copy it down. Yep, I fixed it. Repeat the same thing for Brazil.
Can you show it one more time, what the formula
yeah.
look like?
Okay, of course. Okay. Now, remember what I'm trying to calculate is the total annual cost for each of the countries. So we can draw the graph. The formula is right here. Total cost.
Okay, I got it.
Fixed
Thank
cost
you.
plus variable cost times volume as units. So for Brazil, Argentina, fixed cost is right here, A, plus, okay, variable cost is 75,000 then, times units, 1,000. Now, because we want to use the same fixed cost and this variable cost for Argentina, we're going to freeze the cells. So freeze this one by putting a dollar sign and put a dollar sign in front of the row as well. Do the same thing for the variable costs. And okay, the row it is located. This one you don't do it because this one changes. This is one that adds the units to change. That's the only thing that changes. The other ones can be fixed. Then press the enter key and then drag it down so you can calculate for the rest of them. Now for Brazil, you do the same thing for Brazil. Equals the fixed cost for Brazil is 200,000 plus the variable cost is 50 times the units. Close it. Now you fix the fixed cost. Freeze it by putting $sign and freeze this cost, right? This number here and this. Okay. Press the enter key. Then you calculate it. Okay. Then for Chile, equal fixed cost plus variable cost of 25. Okay. Times the output or the units. You freeze the fixed cost and then freeze this one. And then do the same thing for the variable costs for the given units. Then, of course, can down, copy it down. Now you can draw the graph of this. So remember the essence of drawing the graph will not look exactly like the one I have here because this one uses a different unit, different numbers. But we'll be focusing on the units. Remember I said here that if the company produces very few units, then choose the one with the lowest fixed cost. It is when the number of units increases that the variable cost become a factor. Okay, so let's look at this graph here. You can grab this by but just coming in now. You can grab it by using the go to the let me see if you can see my screen. Okay, good. We go to, I'm gonna move this up so we can have enough room here. Okay. We go to insert. Choose this one. I'll choose any of them to give you a blank sheet. You can bring it down here. Now right click on it. Select data. First one is the Argentina. Type Argentina.
Wait, can you go back on how you got
Yeah,
the
which graph is it? Can you?
Okay, sure, no problem. Okay. So click on insert. Can you see that?
yes.
Should look at this one. Can you see my cursor here?
Yes, I can.
Then choose this one. Oh, goodness, sorry, a mistake. Highlighted it. Insert. Choose this one. To give you an empty cell. Why I choose empty? Because I want to. It's gonna be multiple graph in one. Okay, let me bring it down. Maybe I'll delete one of them. Delete. Okay. So it gives me what this. Now you can right click. Choose select data. Okay. Click add. Then this is for Brazil, Argentina. Type Argentina. For the data under Argentina, the fixed cost here, total annual cost. I click on this and put the numbers in. And click OK. Now for the horizontal axis, which is the number of units. Click on this side. You can see where they wrote horizontal right here. Click on that and then put the numbers in. Okay. Now for the Brazil, you do the same. Click add. Type Brazil. And for this side, it just the total annual cost for Brazil, you can copy all of them. It will be there. Click OK. Now for last one is Chile. Chile. Click on add. Type Chile. Okay. Now for the total annual costs, you can get all this. Okay. Okay. Now this one just went back to 1, 2, 3. So I'm gonna adjust it. And then this is right here. Okay. Then click OK. To give us the graph. So I'm gonna add the axis titles, and don't forget to put the legend so we know which one is for which country. So I'm gonna enlarge it so you can see. Okay, that's yeah. Then for the axis, this is the unit. Okay, number of units Okay. This will be total annual cost. Annual cost. When you look at the lines, what we have here, you see that it's almost the same thing that we have in my chart here, that I have here. See, almost the same thing between line. So that's now they put the broken lines here for the 2,000 to 8,000. Okay. But what I'm trying to say here is that when it is small like this, you're not worried about variable cost that much. You're concerned with you're gonna choose something like Brazil because you have the lowest fixed total annual cost at 2,000 units. At this point, which is 8,000 units or more, in that case, Chile start looking better because it have the lowest cost. If you look at Argentina now, the lowest total annual cost for Argentina at 8,000 units, it'd be more. And for Brazil, it will be even more, but for Chile, it becomes lower. Something like that. If you look at this one, you can see that it is basically the same thing. You can see that the red one is for Brazil, green is for Chile, and blue is for Argentina. So I'm gonna maybe I should put a broken line there. Let me put this line at 2,000 right here. And then I'm gonna make it a broken line. Okay. And then at 6,000. Okay, 6,000 right here. Oh, sorry, right here. Okay, 6,000. I'll make it a broken line. Then at 8,000. Okay, right here. I'll make it a broken line. So I'm gonna reduce this because this is 6,000. That's right here. Okay. Okay, good. You can see that here at 2,000. At that point, Brazil, because the red one, it becomes more, have the lowest total annual cost. At 6,000, this is right here. It's still Brazil as well. But once you get to 8,000 and above, the green one, which is Chile, will now have lowest cost. If you go there. In that case, Argentina, the lowest cost at this one is too high. So that's why I wrote here that if the company produces a few units, choose the lowest cost. If the company produces many units, choose the lowest variable cost. But in both cases, Brazil is better, as you can see from here. I mean, except after it exceeded 8,000 units. That's when Chile start become good, because if you flow it here, it's higher cost. So Brazil is good for this from 2,000 to this point to 6,000 units. Once it passes 6,000 units,
No, where Chubbs is.
huh?
No.
Yeah. Once it passes 8,000 units, 6,000 units, it
Who?
becomes Brazil is no longer
Who?
the lowest.
Yeah.
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 Can you mute yourself? Let's see who is doing this. Okay. So now, so in this case, Brazil is the better one. And I wrote here as well, as a way of making it easy for you to identify it. Low production, low fixed cost matters most. High production, high fixed cost matters most. Now, so the final result, like I explained in the graph, it shows that Brazil is at the price of at the value at the output of 2,000 to 6,000. See, Brazil at that output, you can see that Brazil had the lowest cost. So at 6,000, Chile is right here. Chile is right here, which is higher than Brazil in terms of cost. And Argentina is up here, which is still higher than Brazil. The same thing happens at 2,000 units. But when you get to 8,000 units, then Chile become better than Brazil and Argentina. So it varies with number of units. As lower units, Brazil, as a higher number of units increases, Chile and Argentina become more attractive. Argentina is good for low output, but not better than Brazil. So the graph basically explains the whole thing. Any question for me here?
I have one. How do you know where to put the like dashed lines?
Oh, because I wanted to explain here. Oh, the best way to know is where they intersect. See that they intersected here. Two lines cut here, right?
Mm-hmm.
And here, two lines cut.
Mm-hmm.
So that gives you the range.
Okay, but what about the one that's in the middle?
Yeah, because that's the range I'm talking about. Brazil is attractive all through within this one and this one. And remember, we are told 6,000 units.
Okay.
Remember the question says 6,000 units.
Yeah.
That's why I put it right here. Can you see the 6,000 right here?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I put it here. So you have 1, 2, 3. In the first two, Brazil is good. Once it's above that, up to 8,000 units, then Chile start looking attractive. So I put it at the two places. You can even put on this at this point, but if you put at this spot, it's too high. Brazil is still good. So this point where they intersect, they call it the crossover, where they cross the lines crosses. That's why I can put your broken lines. And any one of them that is good within a given range between the two crossovers, you can put that. Especially if you are given the number of units, which in our case we are given 6,000 units. You can put it right there. Any other question?
Please, are you recording?
Yes, of course.
Okay, the video will be available.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. So now next will be there's another way you can find this. If you don't want to use a graph, you can use equation, whereby you form the total cost formula, which is this, and then put in the values. For example, for Argentina, total cost would be 150,000 plus 75Q, where Q is the quantity. How did I get 150? How? Because we are told on the table, remember the table right here? Remember here is fixed cost plus variable cost and quantity. The fixed cost we are given on this table right here for Argentina is 150 and variable cost is 75. See, that's how these two come about. 150 plus 75Q. For Brazil, it's 200,000 plus 50Q. How did I get this? It's on the table right here. For Brazil, 200,000 plus 50Q. And then you can just solve these two equations. You get the same result. But I think the graph will be better for you at the crossover point. So you get the same result, but I say graph is better. Just draw the graph where the crossover. Can choose that, and the number of units that were given to you. Okay, but as a matter of fact, I'll be only be interested in the two part of the questions. When I ask you a question on this, I'll be looking for only part A and part B. What is find the most economical location for expected volume of 6,000? What is the expected profit? That's where I'll be focusing, which is what we did there on the table right here. Where we did where we calculated the profits and the revenues. Got the revenues and then get the profit, and we got the total cost. This is the main one I'm looking at here. But I put this to illustrate part C, so you can see how the graph looks like. Okay. Now, at this point, we're ready to review another method for determining the best location. Okay, I think I missed something here, so I'm gonna share it. Okay. The next method we'll be looking at is factor rating system. The factor rating system. Now, under the factor rating system, as the name implies, we assign quantitative values to all the factors related to each decision alternative. And then we derive a composite score that can be used for the comparison. So this rating and then the score we give depends on how the operation manager feel about the factor with respect to how important it is to the company when it comes to locating it at a particular country or region. Now, what do I mean by that? Those factors that the operation manager consider very important, you assign it a higher score. Those that he or she consider less important will have lower score. Then after that, you calculate the score for each country or region. Then the one that have the highest score is now chosen as the best. So look at the step again. I just explained it. Develop a list of relevant factors. For instance, you can use a checklist or model shown on table 3. When I say that, I mean this one. production cost, how important it is. It is given the highest weight. I mean, that is the cost of production can also include cost of labor. But in this case, they put the cost of labor different. Raw material supply was given this weight. Labor availability was given this weight 0.2, markets 0.18, environment 0.04, because maybe they feel that it is not too important. Then next is to assign weight to each factor to indicate the relative importance. I've already showing you the factor and the weight. Assign a common scale to each factor, like 0 to 100 points. To the then score each potential location according to the designated scale, and multiply the scores by weight. Then total the points for each location and choose the location with the maximum points. Now, enough of this grammar. Let me show you an example. This one is even easier than the other one as we did, and their classwork will be based on this one. Okay. Let's look at an example. It says International Glass Company is evaluating 4 locations for a new plant. Okay. 4 locations for a new plant, and has weighted the relevant factors as shown in table 4. Look at how they weighted it. In table 4, see? It says that production cost is 33, raw materials 25, labor availability 0.2. So I put them right here for all these factors that they believe are important. They give them all this weight based on how they deem them important. Okay, excuse me. Then it says they also give a score. I mean, you'll be given these 2 parts for each location. You'll be given the score, the weight, and the score. So you don't have to worry about this, or you'll be given to you. Now, you now be asked to determine the best location, given this weight and the score for each location. And this case, the location is Hamburg, Nigeria, and Mexico. Okay. Now let's look at it. It says scores have been assigned with higher values indicative of preferred condition. Using these scores, develop a qualitative factor comparison for the 4 locations. Actually, it's 3. I think it's 3 locations. Let's see. How many locations? Say 4. Okay, that means there are 4 of them. Oh, 4. Hamburg, Nigeria, Mexico, and South Africa. And each of them have these factors here are assigned this weight according to how important they are to the operation manager. And then for each country now receive a score based on how they meet with these factors here, or how they comply, or how their environment is relate to these factors, or meet this factor, or meet these factors. And it says now choose. So using this factor, could develop the qualitative factor comparison for the 4 locations and choose the one that is best. Okay. So now, next thing we do is to get the best location will be to calculate the weighted score for each location. That means calculate the weighted score for Hamburg, calculate the weighted score for Nigeria, for Mexico, and South Africa, and then add them. Then the one that have the highest total will be the best location. How do we calculate it? I'm gonna put the formula here. The formula is on this it's in here. You can see the percentage, the formula right here. Weighted score times the assigned weight. Score times the assigned weight. Let me put it right there. All right, let me put it here. Weighted score weighted score equals score times the assigned weight. Okay? Now make it bold. So that means for Hamburg, so with this score is score and assigned weight. Right here. Okay? Just making sure. Good, excellent. So let us do it for all of them. Now have for the Hamburg equal score times the assigned weight. Press the enter key and then copy it down if you calculate the rest of them. Then we go to Nigeria equals score times the assigned weight. And then we can copy this down. Now for the Mexico equal score times the assigned weight. And for South Africa equals score times the assigned weight. And then okay, now we can get the total. You can see the total right here, totals. From you add all the weighted scores. For Hamburg is Summit. Sum this. Okay. Now for Nigeria.
Can you show what you just summed again, please?
Yeah, I'm about to do it for Nigeria now. It's the same formula. Are you talking about what I sum or how I got it?
I just wanted to see the formula for the 69.2. I mean 62.2.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna use this. It's right here.
Okay, E19.
Right here. Just sum. If I sum, you highlight the weighted score. Yeah. Okay. Now I'm gonna use the formula again here. What equals sum. Highlight this. Press the enter key. Now for Mexico equals sum. Highlight all this. Then for South Africa, for sum, highlight all this. Press the enter key. So you can see the totals. And the one that has the highest total is the one that is better when it comes of will be the best place to locate facility, which is Nigeria has 65.4. The closest is Hamburg. So Nigeria has highest. So you can put that this is the best location. And give it maybe light green. And that's it. So that's why I wrote on the hand PowerPoint.
Can I see? Oh, I'm sorry. Can I see the formula for the weighted score for Nigeria?
Yeah, give me 1 minute. Yeah. So I wrote here on the conclusion that based on the calculation done in Excel, Nigeria is the preferred location. Now let me take you back to this. So what was your question again? Hello.
Oh yeah, I wanted to see the weighted, how you got the weighted scores for Nigeria.
Oh, this one here.
Mm-hmm.
Multiply the score here times the weight.
Okay.
Mm.
And then you multiply for like Mexico, you'll multiply 35 times 0.33 and so on.
Yeah, they did for this for Mexico, 35 times 0.33. Yes.
Okay.
So, any other question before we round up? Remember, this last one we did is what your classwork will be based on. So, just give me 30 minutes to an hour. I'm gonna put the classwork in for you, and then you guys enjoy your rest of your day. I see you guys after the spring break. Then, don't forget to do your tests 1 and your classwork. Have a good night.
Thank you, Prof.
Thank you. All right, I have a lot of people here.
Professor, I had a quick question regarding, I think it was like classwork or work, the second assignment that we did for me and my group.
Classwork 2,
Yeah.
go ahead.
I think you said we forgot to integrate something or something on the lines of that. Could you possibly look at that for me? Because I was so unclear on the comment. And I know me and my partner submitted it because I accidentally submitted it wrong.
Which of the classwork are you referring to?
Give me 1 second. I'm about to pull it up for you so I can tell you. Oh, no, it was classwork 1A, that one. All right.
Okay. What's her name?
Cherie.
Ramsey, right?
Yes, sir.
Click on something. Okay. Okay. All right. This is already graded. So
Yeah.
so I wrote who submitted it? You?
So we both
Oh
submitted
yeah.
it
Oh
because
yes. Okay, I
I
see now.
submitted it wrong.
Yeah, the answer was not you didn't write anything after that. Like what does this mean? Even if it is a sentence interpretation. So that was it.
Was that on the let me double check it because it might have been.
But you guys
That wasn't on the question. That's why we didn't interpret it.
well, if you want to, the one I saw in the class, I interpreted. So I remember I said followed my direction. If you want to make it up, let's see in April of second week of April, when I will review grade books. If you want to make it up, you can make a request for make it up. I will give you something else to do and make it up.
Okay, because I mean, in class when we did it, you didn't interpret it unless you just said it out loud because you didn't put it on the Excel sheet. But even on like classwork 1, when you have like the question and stuff like that, it doesn't say to interpret it. It just asks for the to compute it.
Yeah. Whenever I saw this particular question, when I solved it, I interpreted it in the class what it means, what that number means. So that was my expectation for that. But like I say, if you want to make it up, you can make a request second week, and I give you something else to do, and give you an example if you look at the question when I solved it, I still have the presentation for that productivity.
Yeah, you have the presentation and we have the Excel sheet for that thing. And this looks exactly like the Excel sheet. On the Excel sheet, there's no interpretation for it.
No,
and like I said,
I can't see. I don't write interpretation in Excel sheet. I write it in the presentation, the PowerPoint. But you submitting an Excel sheet.
Yeah, because that's what you asked for was the Excel sheet. And even in the question, in the question for our homework, you didn't say to interpret it. Like if you go to what you asked for, we gave you what you asked for.
Just like this one I just did. Remember I told you. Remember this one I just solved. I came back here and said based on the calculation done in Excel, Nigeria is the best location. So I expect that. So you can write it there, but I don't write it inside the Excel. You have that in mind.
Okay, if you expect us to do or have a conclusion for you, you don't have that as the question. Like if you go to what you posted for us to do, it doesn't say to interpret it. It just asks to give the productivity. So based off of what you asked for, we gave you what you asked for.
So let me repeat again. I can pull up the PowerPoint for that topic. When I finish,
you can pull up the PowerPoint and you can also pull up what you asked for. What was the actual homework?
So let me put up the PowerPoint and see that after each calculation for that topic, I wrote the interpretation of the PowerPoint. So when I give you the question for that particular topic, I didn't say write the interpretation. But I will say do it exactly the way I did it. And when I said exactly the way I did it is finish it right, even if it's one sentence interpretation. So let me put the PowerPoint for that for that topic. You will see this. I have the something there. Gonna be on productivity. Give me 1 minute. Yeah. Gonna be lecture 1. And this is the type I gave you. Yep, Sterling Services. See, Sterling Services.
I can't see it.
You can see it?
Oh, this.
Yeah.
Okay, I can see it.
Good.
Yeah, that's
question. So I did the work on Excel, but I still write it here. See? You can see this here. 16 customers per hour. Each teller has services approximately 16 customers per hour.
Okay,
and I didn't say here write the interpretation, but I solved it. So when I say do it exactly, I remember when I gave that assignment out, I said do it exactly as the way I did it, so you can have full credit. I remember I said that in the class that day because that was our first day of class, I believe.
That was our first day of class. That's why I'm trying to figure out because.
So
being slides like this, okay, cool, understand. But even in that question, you chose to put the interpretation in there so we could understand it. But it doesn't say like when you ask the question to interpret it. And I'm just asking for grace because it's like that was our first assignment to do.
So I'm giving you the option now. If the second week of April, if you still want to make it up, let me know. Provided your attendance is 70%, I'll give you something else to make it up. Now that
make it up for it? Okay. Would it be like all assignments, or is it just like one assignment we'll pick to
just like that one? That one is one question, right? This one could be another.
That one.
This one will be another one question.
Just like this, if you don't have any questions, is class over?
Yes, it's over.
There's lightning.
So the lady that was asking me about this, are you still there? Hello?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Yeah, look at that. This one, but like I mentioned, this one, I'm going to give you guys this last example that I did. That's what I'm gonna that's the type I'm gonna give for this classwork tonight. So you can see that when I finished it, I wrote a sentence, what it means, which country to select. So when you finish this,
you want us to write a conclusion for it?
yes, just one sentence.
Okay, so
I know which one you chose. Which one you chose. Now, for the only difference, hello, is there? Hello?
Yeah, I'm still here.
The only difference with this one is if you don't write the interpretation, but you wrote here. See what I wrote here? Best location.
Yeah.
That can also serve as an interpretation for this one.
Okay, because that's why I was confused when you said we didn't interpret it. But like on our other Excel sheets, we've done this where we put like best location or like best whatever result it is, and you didn't deduct points. So
well,
that's why
there's like now the one I graded last night, I believe I mentioned the one that I involve. I forgot what that question is about. Critical part. Yes, critical part. I say you have I made a comment. Some people that they finish it, but they did not identify the critical part. So they lost.
So if we highlight it and then said like critical path with that, or
that is good.
That works.
That is good.
Okay, that works. Okay,
yeah.
I'm just making sure because like sometimes we don't write it, we just highlight it and it'll say critical path.
Yes, right. It's the same.
Okay.
Because you can't write so much inside Excel.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Another question before we leave?
Professor, I had a question regarding the first assignment, my submission for it.
Okay, go ahead.
For classwork 1B, you gave me a 0 because it said that I didn't put my group members' names in it, but then I responded and I showed you where I put my group members' names, but I never got a response back.
Okay, is it classwork? What classwork? Okay, again?
Classwork 1B.
1B. That one is we did in the classroom, I believe, right?
Yes.
I said submit what we did in the class. That's what I said. I remember that.
Yeah, no. So I submitted it, but you said that your feedback, you said you did not put your name of members on your group here as instructed, and then I responded and I showed you where I put my group name and my members.
What's the name?
Jonathan Foster.
Foster?
Yes, sir.
Oh, right here. Okay.
It was 1B, not 1A.
Oh, okay, 1B. Okay.
Yep.
Okay, let's see. Right, okay. So what are the names? Give me 1 minute. I have the list. Right. Okay. What you are Foster, right?
Yes, sir. And I came up to you. I told you my group was Group F, and one of the reasons why we chose F was because my last name.
You're only 2 of them in the group, right?
Say that again.
Group F, only 2 people in the group, right?
Yes, but now I don't think
Maria is no
I
longer
actually have no group. Yeah, now I have no other group mates.
So you're only you now, right? What?
Yes, sir.
Jonathan Foster, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'll take care of it.
And then my last question was some of the assignments that I had. It said that I did receive, like I think I received a 0, but I don't have any group mates. So do I just kind of continue with the semester?
Just
with it?
continue. I know you're still in group F, but only you is in that group.
Okay, just wanted to make sure.
Yeah. All right.
All right, so have a good one.
You too. You guys have a nice holiday. I'll see you next when you come back from spring break. Good night.
Wait, Professor, I had a question.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
for the assignment that's due tonight, we just upload the Excel that we were working on in class.
No, I'm gonna put a question there. Just give me, like say, give me 30 minutes to 1 hour after the end of this class. I'll put the question there.
All right. Okay. Thank you.
Welcome.